I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, March the 8th, brought to you in part by Performance Livestock Analytics. Performance Beef is software developed to help small producers compete. It's as easy to use as your cell phone, and it simplifies feeding, performance, and health records all in one easy place. For more information about Performance Beef, go to performancelivestockanalytics.com. More headroom, and I mentioned recently that our feeder cattle markets, our calf markets, were kind of bumping their head on the ceiling, even though they just keep getting higher, but a lot of them aren't penciling out. But we got a little more headroom on Thursday with your fat cattle market trading mostly $3 higher. Packers were getting short bought. Your few cattle feeders that still sell negotiated cash out there, they knew how short bought that they were, and they knew how tight the numbers of market ready cattle are. They stuck to their guns. They got mostly 186 for the cattle that traded. We didn't see a huge movement, but I think we sold a lot more cattle after the 2 o'clock deadline where they have to report the information. So probably significant trade happened Thursday after the 2 o'clock deadline, and we'll pick that up next week whenever we round up all the trades that happened. But really good market there. We saw your feeders and your calves continue to gain ground, and I told you on the last visit that we've been kind of plateaued out here this week. And you think, well, how can you say that when your feeder markets are higher every day, you know, $4, $5, $6, $8 higher? Well, they started out the week that much higher, and you're comparing it to a week ago, and they've been real consistent, about $4 to $8 higher on your calf and yearling markets. And so that's pretty much the market this week. But that's like I said, that started early in the week, and it's continued through the week, and the board's been up and it's been down, but it hasn't changed all that much. So just a really good week in your cattle markets, and we're seeing prices on all classes of cattle selling really high, guys. I mentioned several visits ago that out in Twin Falls, Idaho, we saw some old bred cows, broken mouth bred cows, bring $24.50 per head. We've never seen anything like that before. We've seen young bred cows and bred heifers in our sales here the last several months, really selling well over $4,000 per head. That's an excellent price there on some really top quality kind of replacement females there. But some other classes of stock that I saw on Thursday that sold really well at Paris, Kentucky stockyards out there in Paris, Kentucky. They sold a slaughter bull weighed 1,850 pounds for $161. That's a big time price, guys, on a good bull there. Talked to Seth Adams out there in Wisconsin. He was selling some baby calves just pulled right off the cow there. They were 100-pound calves for the most part. Beef cross 100-pound calves bringing $800 to $950 a head. Wow. I mean, it's just a great market for all classes, and that is normally a good thing. It's always a good thing. It scares me a little bit when we see all classes selling like that, because I know that we're going to see some older producers selling out, figuring it's a good time to just go ahead and sell out. They feel like they're being pushed out, and we're seeing a lot of dispersals. I just hope we get some young small producers to come in behind them so we continue, we don't lose players in the industry. But a special sale that's coming up here on Friday is an auctioneer contest called the Border Wars, and it's for livestock auctioneers that sell in and around the state of Missouri, which there's a lot of states that border Missouri, 8 or 9 states, I can't remember off the top of my head, that border Missouri, and any auctioneer that sells in those states or in Missouri is qualified to enter that contest. They've got about 30 auctioneers and some really top ones that's going to be selling, and that's going to be at Eastern Missouri Commission Company. Mike Von Manen there. It's in Bowling Green, Missouri. It's over on the eastern side of Missouri there, just north of St. Louis, but very close to the border of Illinois. But that's going to be a really interesting sale to watch, and you can always watch Bowling Green sales on DVAuction.com. Another replacement sale that's going to be happening, my friend Chuck Kiker, and that's down in Beaumont, Texas. That's extreme South Texas, guys. They're having their 29th annual South Texas Independent Cattlemen's Association's commercial bull and heifer sale. And it's going to have all breeds in there, but those cattle are going to be adapted to South Texas and Gulf type atmospheres. So if you're looking for some replacement stock there, that's going to be this Saturday at 10 a.m. and then I think they start the heifers about 1 p.m. But that's going to be at the Ford Park Complex in Beaumont, Texas. But it's going to be on DVAuction.com. There'll be a lot of top quality cattle there, but commercial kind of cattle. And I was looking through there, and almost every breed is represented there. And for you guys in South Texas and down in that country, you need to get on that sale and check it out. View and bid that sale. Get registered just in case you want to buy something. There'll be a really good sale to check out. Let's talk about your board for Thursday. April live cattle futures were up 147 at 188.72. June was up 132 at 184.60. So kind of gained back there what it lost earlier in the week. So we've been running steady to strong on our board this week, and when you put it all together, your back months on live cattle were up 85 cents to up $1.25. March feeder cattle steady at 250.102. April was up 42 cents at 256.30, and all your back months on the feeder cattle up 67 to up $1.12. So big gains on the back months there. How about your grains? March corn up 8 cents at 4.26 a bushel. You know, it dipped down there and touched under $4 a bushel there late last week, but it's gained and kind of climbing back out of there. Still not going to have a big effect on your feed costs, guys. But if you get a chance to get some feed bought, you might want to think about doing that. How about March beans? Up 16 3/4 cents. Your grains are much higher on the day for Thursday, guys, but closing at 11.57. Kansas City hard red winter wheat for May. There's just not hardly any open interest in the March contract at all, but your May contract up 18.5 cents at 5.74 3/4. It was down most of the week, and that Kansas City wheat is just very volatile. How about your fat cattle trade that mentioned earlier in the report there? But we had active trading on Thursday. Iowa sold 10,700 head before 2 o'clock on Thursday, and I think it continued later on in the afternoon. But your live price was 183 to mostly 186, which would be $3 higher. Dress sales 290 to mostly 292, which would be $2 higher on the dressed. How about Nebraska? 4,800 head up to 2 o'clock, but heard of continued trade happening on into the afternoon on Thursday. Similar to Iowa, live sales there 182 to 186, the mostly heavy on the 186, and dress sales from 290 to mostly 292. Kansas sold 1,200 head at 186, and Texas did not have any sales up to 2 o'clock, but I'm sure that 186 tripped some cattle there in Texas too. So active trading on fat cattle, gaining $3. That's a really good week, guys, and like I said, gives us some more headroom there to grow on these other classes quite a bit. How about box beef cutout values? They were higher on Thursday also. Choice cuts up 170 at 306.61. Your selects up 117 at 296.26. Your slaughter, you know, Monday was really the only day that was significantly off. We started out the week with a really light slaughter there on Monday, but it's been running pretty good since then. But up through the first 4 days of the week, 484,000 estimated slaughter. That's 11,000 less than the same point last week, 17,000 less than the same week a year ago. Your actual slaughter information come in for the week ending February the 24th, with your average dressed steer carcass weight at 914 pounds, which is exactly the same as the previous report, still 12 pounds bigger than the same report a year ago. And it seems like your carcass weights have kind of settled now and recovered from the bitter cold that we had there in January. But they're still significantly lighter than they entered the year. We had some up there, getting close to the mid 900 range there. But talk about what else is going on. Livestock Risk Services. That's Dakota Moss there, and he is now working with National Livestock, and that's in the same building there in the Oklahoma Stockyards Exchange building, and they are your LRP specialists. Him and the agents that work with him, they can sell LRPs pretty much anywhere in the country, guys. And with these prices, they're getting dangerous, guys. And you need to look out there. Our feeder cattle board was much higher, far out. Go out there and pick you a strike price that you're comfortable with. I know these premiums are pretty expensive, but when the markets fall out of bed, guys, they can fall in big hunks, a lot bigger than the price on those premiums, guys. You need to protect yourself. Don't let this good market get away from you on your cattle you're turning out this summer. For more information, go to livestockriskservices.com. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index on DVAuction, based on an 800-pound cash auction steer up through your middle 12 states, late in the day on Thursday, sitting at 249.02, getting close to 250, guys. That was up 46 cents, and we've had steady gains there this week on your real-time index. Your latest CME cash feeder cattle index came in at 248.07, just nipping right at the heels of that RTI, because it's always a day and a half behind. It's bull sale season, guys. All of us at DVAuction, we're running around trying to stamp out all these bull sales. We broadcast about 1,400 bull sales a year, but the bulk of them happen right in here February, March, and April, and so it's spreading us pretty thin. I'm down here, I'm getting closer to Fort Worth, Texas, but my friend Jim Felton with the Felton Angus Ranch. Now, they're from Montana. They used to be in more of eastern Montana or central Montana, but have relocated to western Montana at elevation, guys. Last year, the weather really got him, wiped out his sale, so he decided to have it's mostly just online, guys. It's going to be happening down at Hudson Oaks, Texas, but you can get on DVAuction.com for the Felton Angus Ranch 51st Annual Angus Bull Sale there. It's going to be at 2 o'clock p.m. Central, 1 o'clock Mountain, and I tell you what, you're going to like the Angus bulls from Felton Angus Ranch. He sells those big, long, rugged, athletic bulls just like me. And guys, you can get those no suitcase bulls from Jim Felton, guys. He'll sell you something that'll produce calves that you can hang a big carcass on, guys. So check that out at 2 o'clock here on Friday. And then on Saturday, going to be going back close to home there at Wildorado, Texas, at Lone Star Stockyards. They're going to be having a sale for Wildorado Cattle Company. Now, you've heard about Wildorado Cattle Company. It's actually a very small school there, and it's the FFA group there. They put that sale on. They take care of those cattle. They market those bulls. It's really a good deal for the youth there, and they've gained a lot of notoriety. And I think this is the 6th sale that they've done, and that's going to be starting at noon at Wildorado, Texas, right on I-40, just west of Amarillo, Texas, guys. So check out that sale too on DVAuction.com. Let's talk about your big commercial feeder cattle auctions that happened on Thursday. Winter Livestock in Pratt, Kansas had 5,900 head. Those cattle are coming off the wheat, guys. Really good sale. Similar kind of trends that we've been seeing all week. Your feeder steers and steer calves sold $4 to $8 higher. Feeder heifers $6 to $8 higher. And your Pee-wee heifer calves were $10 to $12 higher, guys. Just a really strong sale there at Pratt. They were your NationalBeefWire stick-out sale of the day. Look at this automated market report out of Pratt Livestock there, and check out your best tested weights. 502 head of 6-weight steers averaged 656 at 290.67 on the average. 621 head of 7-weight steers in Pratt averaged 754 pounds at 263.46. How about 664 head of 8-weight steers averaged 854 pounds with a weighted average price on all of them of $243.72. That's pretty whippy there. How about 605 head of 9-weight feeder steers, most of them off wheat there, averaged 926 pounds with a weighted average price of $299.90. How about your heifers? 531 head of 6-weight heifers, averaged $255.66 with a weighted average weight of 665. About 590 head of 7-weight heifers, averaged 750 pounds right on the button at $236.25. 525 pounds of 8-weight, 525 head of 8-weight heifers, averaged $853 at $218.66. And a stick out sale in Pratt, and I mean a stick out. How about 63 head of steers in one whack? They weighed 718 and bring 286 in south central Kansas, guys. I'm going to give you several individual quotes, but still thinking about the fire that they've been having in the Texas Panhandle, and I mean it's devastating, guys. A lot of people with outpouring of support. They did have a rollover sale there on Wednesday in Dodge City, Kansas, but coming up on Monday at Joplin Regional Stockyards, they're going to be having a rollover sale, guys. You can watch it and you can bid on that rollover sale at DVAuction.com. They're hoping to raise a lot of money there, and it's going to the Texas fire devastation there, guys. So don't forget about that coming up on Monday. But some individual quotes from Thursday. How about Mitchell Livestock Marketing in Mitchell, South Dakota? They sell 67 steers on Thursday. They weighed 674 and bring 296.75. How about Billings Livestock Commission in Billings, Montana? They sell 69 steer calves, weighed 508 at $369. How about Stockman's Livestock Exchange in Dickinson, North Dakota there? The East Barn, 68 steers, weighed 808, way up north there, guys, at $257.25. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Thursday in your Macros and No BS top quote for the day, come out of Valentine Livestock Auction, was the Jeff Johnson steers. 100 head of them weighed 595 and bring $337.50. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.